Hey, it's Mark Miller here in the Vortex. Fred looks like he's a little bit embarrassed. Fred, it's okay. Come on up. Okay, Fred, you good? He says he's good. Are you with us?
I am indeed with you. Yes.
Let's get some Code Rush music
Yeah,
here.
that tentacle thing behind you.
Yeah. And look at this. Surly Dev's here.
Yeah,
In the house.
Surly Dev from the beginning. Big Mark. That was Big Mark for a second there. It's regular Mark now. Welcome, everybody. All right, well, we are kind of in the middle doing some serious, inner hacking. We're using reflection. We're creating essentially our own property editor. We've got kind of a, even though it was hard to kind of, yesterday I felt like I was a little bit barely grasping at the architecture. I feel like our architecture is actually arguably good design. It's got, there's a lot of decoupled aspects to it. It's got kind of the minimum number of pieces. The pieces are relatively simple.
Yep.
And it's doing something relatively complex, right? In other words, it's allowing me to both create a tree and augment an existing tree, find out what things I'm changing using my interactive property editor, and then storing those and going back, and we're about to test or write the part where it applies those. Actually, yesterday, I think after you left, I wrote it so it would apply them, but it didn't work. And so I thought we would start with that, and we'll see how it all works out.
Fair enough.
See what we need to do. So we'll start up our trusty TaleSpire. Also, yeah, I feel like I need, my, wrap my big brain around and really understand the architecture, which we created, right? It's like, you think, but the thing is I realized that I'm missing, I think I checked it last night, and I'm only setting out values for like vectors. And so at this point, I'm like, wait, what do I modify to now change it so I'm setting out values for color now? And I think I need to create one of these guys, a change color piece. I think if we tap the next reference on change vector, we'll see where we're using it.
Yeah.
There, get property changer. Okay, and that's kind of what we're looking for, something like this. And if I tab to next reference on get property changer, you'll see, well, not implemented yet.
Yeah.
And whoops. And then we keep going here. We should see more of those not implemented yet. Edit color. Let's add this right now real quickly.
Seems like it could.
I have a bad feeling about this story. Look out, Fred. Fred, are you okay? That's a little creepy to me, man. Nobody freak out, but Ocular Malice just showed up. Everybody be calm.
There's great juxtaposition between the theme there going on, the dark and grim and ever so slightly worrying, and then TaleSpire's theme kicks in at the end.
True.
Completely relieving all the tension.
Yeah, you're right, isn't it? Okay, so now we got to get a value. The value is a string. So this is what we've done on our changers. This is kind of very cool. We've got this base property changer. It has, I think, 3 properties in it. Name, type, or no, just name and value. Somehow we'll figure out type when we need to, apparently. Change color. Here, let's get rid of the TaleSpire. Let's get TaleSpire up and running. So we can just realize I'm making a change right now, and I want to kind of test that change. I'm gonna go ahead and test it. We'll go ahead and start it up. And then in change color, it uses value. Which is a string, and then it can turn that into a real value by parsing it. That's kind of what it is. It's kind of like these change values, change bools, change floats. They're just the minimum data to get from a string to a bool, a color, a float, or a min-max gradient, or a vector 3, that sort of thing. They just hold onto a string, and at the right time when they're called, they turn it into the value needed.
Yeah. Of course, the great part about being able to operate with string in general is that we can pass them almost anywhere. They're sort of universally movable.
Yeah.
Serialization logic there.
Yeah. Let's see, we're loading up a bunch of stuff. All right. So anyway, let's go back over to get color changer. So one other thing I wanted to show you, remember we were working on that multiplication? I don't know if I wrote this yesterday or not, but I wanted you to see this. So I want to be able to support color multipliers. So I'm thinking something like this. So we set a basic color, and then we multiply it. Also, I had a dream my dream was like this. Roy was right all along.
Nightmare.
That's my dream. And it basically is, I think that I've made the wrong choice in terms of cropping off the colors in other words, if the value is 4.5, and I say, well, the color that if the red value is 4.5, I'm going to make the red 1. No. What I need to do is find the multiplier, divide everything by the multiplier. I think that's why when we were at orange, we saw it go to yellow, maybe? I'm not sure. But I think that there's something there. I think we're doing, even though it's kind of working, I think there's another approach that'll make it work better. That's kind of what I want to do. Ocular Malice says, I'm all about tension. Mark causes me tension, lots of it. I have a nightmare. Mark is in your code. Mark has checked out your code. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I know I have that effect on people. I really do. All right, we're up. TaleSpire is up and running. Let's go edit a prefab. Let's add a simple prefab. I think what I'll do, let's go get medium fire. That's one of our own. And it's real simple. This particle system has got a wind zone inside of it. With it, it should be somewhere nearby. There it is right there. There's medium fire. Right there. Now let's make some changes to it. Let's go into transform. And let's go to its scale. Let's modify the scale. I added these right here, so it would be easier to do this kind of thing, these sliders.
Yeah.
See that, Rory? It's kind of cool too. Check it out. If I move it up a bit, it then snaps back to 0 again. So it's just kind of a, modify it a little bit kind of a thing. So what we can do is we can make it really tall and thin like that. Okay. Now the act of doing that, if we create JSON, should give us a property for that. There it is right there. So it says we're going to modify local scale on medium fire. Now, this should actually not be, the name is incorrect. The name should be, can I edit this? I can't. The name should be, let me copy that. Let's go get it into like a notepad here. The name should be transform local scale. This could be why it's not working. It should be that. Because local scale is inside the attached component transform. It's not part of medium fire. Right, there's no local scale here. Okay, so looks like our property name is wrong. That's the only property to change. The rest is reflecting, hey, just the structure. Now, I've also thought about, notice I've got a child element with no props and no children. I could trim this element out.
Yes.
I could take this element out to simplify this and recursively do that from the leaf nodes all the way up to the root node of the tree.
Feels like a good idea because you can see yourself applying this to something, and if you had blanks and nulls and zeros there, you might be erasing things that were in the thing you were overlaying.
Well, my code won't do that.
You'd only apply the things that were, should we say, specified.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I refuse to do that. I refuse to write code that does that, so I won't do that. But from a readability standpoint and just a data standpoint, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's my compelling reason. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Rory?
That's noise.
I don't mean to disagree with you because you know what's going to happen. I'm going to have another dream. I'm going to be like, oh man, it's right again. Okay, so this won't work. But if I copy the JSON, I just copy JSON will actually work. I don't know if it does or not, but at least I copied to the clipboard. I don't think copy JSON, I've set that up yet. Let's investigate that. As long as we're running down rabbit holes, kids, if Mark says, hey, does this work? Yeah, let's do this. Clipboard dot set text. What is it going to be? TBX JSON dot text.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I think you tend to standardize around TBX, but occasionally we saw a couple of TXTs the other day.
That was yesterday. Yeah, Green Mouse. HoloFox is out there. Did you read my ugly photon code I sent the other day? No. I did not, HoloFox. I saw, when you say sent, I saw, hold on a second, make sure I didn't miss something. If it was a direct message, I didn't see it. Well, and I didn't see no matter what, because I think you also sent a link to your Photon plugin. And I didn't go anything beyond just looking at it. Just looking at it, the Discord starting up. It's taking a long time to load up here. Oh, in theory, you could potentially, that's just conjecture. Oh, yeah, okay. Probably could pull out the PUN API. Okay, so we're just talking about using Photon, his plugin, HoloFox's plugin, and I say his, let me know if you want me to change that gender pronoun for you there, buddy. Let's see, potentially, and basically use that to communicate from WPF app that's not essentially a BepInEx plugin over to the BepInEx plugin. And so HoloFox gave me a little bit of an answer on that. So thanks for that. I can take a look at that later. Yeah, I'm solving the networking problem is going to be kind of the last thing we do. I think right now we're going to have this all work on one machine. And then we're going to solve it on the networking. Okay, so that's what we're trying to create. I'm going to now take what's on the clipboard. I'm going to go to my Form Explorer. I'm going to paste it in here, and I click on Deserialize, and we should see the old one appear up on top of this platform right up there. Hold on a second. Let me do this. Let's raise the camera up. Double right click here. Getting close. So we're expecting to see it fail when I hit Deserialize right there because that's not working. And actually, I see nothing. I don't even see anything created. Wait. Aha. It's doing it on Janus's. Okay, that makes sense. The scale is all wrong though. What if I manually edit this? Wouldn't that be cool?
That would.
If that worked, transform.local scale. Let's try deserializing now. If I clear attack, will I get rid of it? Can't get rid of it. The deserialization doesn't keep track of itself, and I don't have a way to clear the deserialize. So we'll see what happens. Aha!
That's good.
So that's good. So the fix is
whether we've got things right or not.
Yeah. So the fix is get the property name right. For goodness sakes, Mark and Rory. I'm gonna embroil you into my problem space here, Rory.
Fair enough.
That's every day you sign in as co-host.
Uh-oh. We need your help.
Disco 7. Oh no, this guy again, man.
Just as I was being flamed, you come on the scene to save me.
That's the guy right there. Get him, Disco 7. Good job.
I am.
Yeah, get him, man. Wait, what? He was an emissary of peace? Oh dang. We misread him. Okay. All right. So we want also, by the way, when we deserialize, let's go look at the code for deserialize before we, go in and try making too many changes here. I want to look at the code to deserialize and make sure it clears out the previously deserialized piece so we can, look at one on top of the other instead of just keep adding them. Composite effect, create test instance ID. Oh, no, wait. We are deleting it. We delete it when we call deserialize. Okay. So that other one is gone. We just have to trust me that it's gone. I'm going to say it's gone. It used to be down below and show up there. All right. Let's do this. I know how you can trust me. You don't have to trust me. Let's do this. I think I can put a comma here, paste, change this to local position, and but this is now, I don't know what its position is. I don't know what the space is. Oh wait, I can kind of figure it out. Hold on. Sonic 30th year anniversary, says Ocular. It says Genescu 7.
Wow.
You just have to trust me, it says Ocular Malice. You just have to trust me. If you want me to say it, I think Ocular Malice, you got to do Mark, colon, quote, trust me, like that. Does that work? There you go. Surely I've got it. Okay, somewhere in here we've got I think we've got the number 15. I seem to remember the number 15 showing up here. Here they are, X, Y, and Z. This is what we're looking for, something like this. This puts it up on the top, over to the side. So I'm going to grab those. We're going to say it's going to be 15, 22.5, and 95.4. That should throw it on the platform. Local position, there we go. Let's try deserializing. Let's get in view when we do it. And we should see it, this completely go away, and it should show up over there. What am I going to do? Put it over here. Hit deserialize. There we go.
Yay.
Cool?
Yes, yeah.
So also that means I can say, well, let's make it short and fat, right? By coming in here like this, and making this 0.7, like that. Hit deserialize on it, and we should see it. All right. So there you go.
Yep.
Okay?
It's good.
It's not bad. We need to fix this. We need to get the name of the property right. So that we're failing on completely. I love Surly Dev's drone formation, says Fred. My essay, me too.
We all love Surly Dev's drone formations.
Genescu7 just turned on the sun. No, that's not good. I'm not sure why we're not seeing it. Oh, we have to like start a new game, I think, to see it. We have to do a test. Like, I think I have a command like test CG1 or something like that. Oh, no, wait. No, it's not that. Oh, we have this problem again. Hold on, I'm docking everybody. Get rid of that mess. I feel like I want to go into log messages. It's not that. In order to see we have to launch the, we have to launch this guy right there. And now we can see the sun. There we go. Oh, look at him collect those coins for me. What a great spaceship. What a great spaceship friend. Come down here, spaceship friend. All right, spaceship friend, go over there to Fred. Now go back up where you belong. Good spaceship friend.
Ching, ching, ching. You have collected all the coins.
All right, that's with the sun right there. All right, sorry about that, Surly. Got rid of you. Okay, so let's figure this out. Guess who has no idea where the code is to make this change? I'm not sure where that is.
Both of us, I think, probably.
Yeah, I need to go find that. So let's see. We are adding props. It's part of composite effect. And we're in the middle. We've been jumping down so many rabbit holes. We're in the middle of the of creating a new change color. We have to fix that code as well. Here, don't forget this before we run. Well, we got an error there, so we won't be able to build it. We're going after. Hold on. Going after composite effect. That's where we're looking for. Right here. This is the structure that we're serializing out. Composite effect has got two pieces that influence properties. A public one with type property changer DTO, and a private one that it builds after deserialization called properties. And so this has just got the text needed, and then this text goes in and gets the right changer that we need, that sort of thing, to build the properties. So let's go look at props. I think in here I've got an add property call right here. Getting that. The name, it's getting a base property changer. The name property and the base property changer looks to be wrong. So let's double check this. To property changer DTO. Get type name. That's for type name. Name is equal to name. That's of the base. That's already getting of the base property changer here. Yeah. So my contention is that this guy's name is wrong coming in. Here we go. That's the problem.
Okay.
That's it right there. We need to go up the parenting chain to get all of the pieces up the parent, and I think we just need. I think that's all we need. And so let's do this. Let's change this to get full name, get full property name, like that, and pass in the selected node. I think that's going to be enough to do it reliably.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a little bit of cleanup. Go ahead, Rory.
Got a dot notate, or got join, as it were, the parents and the parents and the parents of the selected item with a dot, and we should have our part.
Right. I think it's going to look something like this. While the node is not null, we're going to do some stuff. Then we're going to say node is equal to node.parent. The parent? Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. That's what I think we're going to do. And then we're going to get some sort of result here, like this. Set it equal to string.empty for now. Then here we're going to say result, not yet. Here, I mean, we're going to say result is equal to node.text, like that, plus a dot, plus result. I think. I'm not really joining these. I kind of know what you're... Do you want me to collect these in a list and then join the list? Is that how you would do this, Roy? Is that more of an easy to read thing for you?
Just to get the list and then just call join. In the other case, you end up post-pending or pre-pending one extra dot and you have to trim it off afterwards.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. All right, so let's do this. So we're going to create a new list of strings like that, and we're going to call these the prop names, I guess, like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're going to come down in here and we're going to say prop names dot add. Now, are we going to have to reverse this? I think we're going to have to reverse this. Node.text.
Do an insert.
Oh, okay. There you go. Look at this guy, man. He's more than just a co-host. Right? Insert at 0. There we go. And now we don't need that anymore. We don't need that anymore. Yeah, I think you're right, Rory. It's better. And then we're going to say return string.join. Separator is going to be... Is it ever weird to anybody that they didn't have implicit conversion between char and string? Wait, you have two co-hosts? I thought you were the co-host. Wait, and you were the... Wait, who's... You mean Rory? What? I don't know what's going on there. And then we're going to say our problems.
Sure. But I believe Visual Basic does. I think you pass a character to a string and it will... Yeah,
Visual Basic does, but C# does not. And I'm always kind of... And I'm wondering that more and more, actually, now. I've thought it kind of unusual, but I thought there was always, at the beginning, I thought, well, there must be a good reason. And now I'm like, is there really a good reason? Because it's not hard to do an implicit conversion to add it. to like a char class. So, all right, get full property name is now there. Guess that was a trick for you and you failed, Rory. It was supposed to be a dot, not a comma.
Any implicit conversion from any form of number to a char in C#? Because a char can be like a 0 to 5 in some circumstances.
No, you have to cast it to an int, I think, and like a char to an int.
If you already had an implicit from the number to a char, then you could take a 6, try to convert it to a string, and if it tried to do it by going via a char, you might get, I think 6 would become A, essentially.
Yeah, there's probably. Okay, no, I'm still, you know, in the mindset that there's probably a good reason. I don't know what that is. All right, so hopefully get full property name is going to work. Now,
Look good.
jumping back to this guy. Now, change color. What's our value here? Let's go look at what get property changer is using on the other piece. I think it's going to use on the one that we've got implemented right here. This one's just going for the data inside the changer itself. Is that what we want to do? The same thing? I guess we do. So we kind of need to get, I think, this value, this data right here. We need that as part of it. Wait, am I going to store it as HSL? Yeah, maybe I will. Well, maybe I won't, but I'll get it. I'll still use the same code to get it and then convert it to RGB. And then I need to find the code for RGB. I'm sorry, not RGB. I mean, I need to get the code for the multiplier. Where's my multiplier? I don't see my multiplier. There it is right there. There's a reference to it. Color changed. There it is. Multiplier value. Okay. So I need that. There's my multiplier. We're going to do this dot as RGB. Like that. And declare local for that. And then we're going to then come in and say this is equal to interpolated string. Or actually, you know what? I don't want R as RGB. I can just come in here instead, and I can go get this dot as hex, I think, as HTML. Okay, that's cool. And then here I'm going to say, hey, if a multiplier is greater than 1, which is the only option, we don't have an option for it being less than 1, then I'm going to create a new string here called multiplier string. Stir, set that equal to string.empty, like that. And then we're going to come down here and say multiplier string is equal to x plus multiplier. I think I can just do that. I don't even need a toString on that because there's implicit conversion to string for numbers, which I think we were talking about something related to that just a second ago. And then I'm going to come in here and pop that in there. Maybe I will give it a space for readability. And that's how I'll encode it if there's a multiplier.
What happens if, certainly we don't have less than 1, but do we want to assign the multiplier as 0 or as 1 if it's not greater than 1? So the default multiplier should, instead of being a string empty, should be just 1.
I don't think so, because I kind of want to. I'm looking for human readable code, and I just want to see. You know, it's only the multiplier it's a special case, right?
This is a display mechanism as well, so you just leave off the x multiplier.
Yeah.
And you just raw value. Yeah, fair enough.
That's what I'm going to do, I think. Okay, so that's my get property changer for that guy. Now I have to undo this on the other side of this, especially, you know, accommodate that .x. And now I'm like, again, a little bit like I need to review where that is. I'm not sure where that piece is going to be. when I do it, well, I think we're close over in, it's modify properties, I think is the method. Let's go see what's going on over in modify properties. Modify properties, composite effect. That goes to my base property DTO. No, I'm expecting to see like a color changer DTO in here is what I'm expecting to see. It's having a modified property here. Well, we're going to call get value. We need to create the right one of these. So get value in one of these descendants is, here we go. Change bool, change vector. So we're going to get to change color here in a second. There it is. Here. And there's our to-do, support color multipliers. Okay, so now what we need to do is grab the multiplier. We need to look for that space X in here. All right, Roy was right all along. What is this in my code? I don't even remember that. Okay, so if, I'm not sure, was there something there? If value dot contains space X, maybe it's better to just find its position right now and do an index of. Index of multiplier. Like that. And if the index of multiplier is greater than 0, then we're going to say, do I have my, I'm not using my Windy stuff from here, am I? Do I have everything before and everything after already, those extension methods? Looks like I did not. Okay, so I'll just keep going like this path right here. Then we're going to say, let's do this as well, HTML. Set that equal to value for now, and then right down in here we're going to say, hey, HTML is equal to value.substr. Mouse says -1, not 0. -1 means not found. Yeah, I get that, but
technically our space X is not going to be at the start of a string because
yeah,
we'll never put it there.
Yeah, no, you're right though. You know,
but that is more accurate. True.
It's a great thing to keep in mind here. -1. Yeah. So anyway, HTML is going to be value.substring, start index 0, comma index with multiplier. Like that. And then HTML is what we want to send down in here and do parse color string on, like that. We need to come in here, add block delimiters, and then we also need to grab the multiplier. So then we're going to come in here and we're going to say VS multiplier stir is equal to value substr index of multiplier. We're going to say +2 there. I hate not being able to step through code in this kind of case because I'm always like, is it +2? Is it +3? Where is it? And then we're going to say, if float.try parse, like that, the multiplier string out, let's just call it multiplier, but I'll declare it up above. Maybe I don't even need an if on it. I'll just do try parse on it, like that. And then up here, I'm going to declare the multiplier float, and I'm going to initialize it equal to 1. And then down in here, once we parse that HTML and we've got our multiplier, I'm going to say, hey, If multiplier is greater than 1, then we got a little more work to do. And I don't know that we can modify color. I suspect it's a struct, and we're kind of stuck with those values. Yeah. So what we'll need to do is create a new struct. So we're going to come in here and say new return new color. And I bet I've got one of these that takes some floats, RGB. We'll say color dot R times multiplier. Like that. Let's select that and shift enter on that. Change it to color dot G. Shift enter. Whoops. That, I think I'm going to report this. This is an issue that bugs me. Let's go fix this. All right, we're dogfooding Code Rush. That means if I see something I don't like, I talk about it. All right, Shema Swap. This is for duplicate selection. Here's what I've got. I've got this. I hit Shift Enter. Fine. Here, I change it to a G, and now here, I want to repeat it. So I hit Shift Enter again. So right now, I'm expecting, as soon as I hit it, I don't want to go to the end and do it. I want to do it right here. But when I hit Shift Enter now, it duplicates the line. But what I'm wanting it to do is to take this next piece and just keep it going. And now I can change this last one to blue or whatever I want it to be. Okay, that's the change. That's the fix that I'm looking for. SDS failing on immediate apply in arguments. Yeah, and I think this is new. This is the build that I have is let's put this in the chat room. The build I have is one of the intermediate builds I got off of the server a day or two ago. So there might be something new in the code there that you might want to take a look at. You can multiply color by a float. Are you kidding me?
That's handy.
You're saying I can say return color times multiplier? And it's got an overload for it that's going to essentially do what I just did? Wow.
Sweet.
Okay. I'll totally take it. I'm going to keep that comment there just in case, someone we know and love out there is like, might be wrong. It'll apply the value to all the elements. That's brilliant. No. This is why
though.
Wait, what'd you say?
Does it apply to literally all the elements? Will it apply it to the alpha as well? Because I know that some systems treat a color as a vector of 4 parts. And that's why when you multiply by an integer or a float, all the parts get multiplied.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, if that's the case, it may warp the color in a way you didn't expect.
Right.
And you need to go back to the old implementation.
Yeah, although alpha is likely to be capped at 1, no matter what. Always remember, Bill is never wrong. And Bill's even got a comment. I feel like that should be copyrighted. He's got a comment. Not only is he never wrong, but he's never wrong with a little comment. He's put that in there so I can put that in the code. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put that in there. And, my dad was also kind of the same guy. And I remember we were at dinner once, and I think I told you the story, Rory, but there's a cheese company in the United States called Tillamook Farms, and they do great cheese. West Coast folks know it, and sometimes they're starting to import on the East Coast of the United States. At any rate, we're in Oregon where they're located, and my dad is saying, no, they're north of us, and everybody else is saying, no, they're south. And we kept going, and I would go, Dad, no, I'm pretty sure they're north of us. And he just kind of pauses for a second. He's confused a little bit. I pull out my camera, which, this is so long ago. It was one of these little, wind up and like that. I take a picture of him. He's like, what are you doing? I go, I've never seen you wrong before. And I wanted to preserve the moment. I did that in front of everybody at the dinner table. Anyway, he took out the will and he scratched out my name and he says, you got any friends? Anyway. That's what he would do. He would always take out the will and scratch out my name on a repeating basis. All right. So anyway, well, let's see. Bill's never wrong. All right. Let's see if that all works. So I think we did this. I think this is now okay. So change color has the out direction of it, and what had the in direction? I thought it was also change color as well, but it's not. So change color has the out. I just want to where were we working? What else did we change? Where did we add the X is my question. Do you remember where we were, Rory? I thought we were in change color, but it doesn't look like we're there. Like, where else would it be?
Do you remember we used to have a feature, tab to next reference, that was aware of literal strings?
Yeah, I know. I know, but I don't know that we have. Do we have this? Do we add it as the same thing? Is that what? Do you remember if we did that or not? Because if we did, we can do a search for it.
I think we did.
Yeah. I also have this guy here. Let's see who helps me first. This guy, recent edits.
I think it had interpolated brace inside of it because we were adding the actual multiplier as well. So it was space X open curly brace.
Okay, let's go take a look at that. Space. So this is just showing up in these two places here, right? The two places we already are in, or no?
We only need two, don't we? This one?
Oh, wait, is this it?
Yeah, there we go. I was wrong.
All right.
Look at that.
And we're in edit color. Oh, the UI. The edit piece. Okay, so there's the connection that I was missing. So that's also, I think, why I was like a little bit trying to wrap my head around it. This piece is tightly connected to the UI piece. These two pieces right here. Now, that statement alone might make you nervous. Might be thinking, well, wait, shouldn't we have a third piece that we take out of here? But, or alternatively, since we're actually creating a change color, shouldn't we maybe create a special method and push all this down into that?
Possibly.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Should be something to connect the two, because otherwise you run the risk of changing one and not the other.
Yeah. So let's do this.
Like there should be a calculate string from multiplier piece.
I'm going to say let's do a set value, and I'm going to pass in this, maybe the HTML, and I'm going to pass in the multiplier. Like that.
Okay.
And now we've got that connection, which is kind of much sweeter and better. And so now all that work is going to be in there. So the set value, it didn't occur to me to do this before. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Hold on. I hit the wrong button. Because it was a violation of the interface. So it was not something in the interface, and each change blank, each one of these change bool, change color, change float would have a different piece in there. So I was thinking, yeah, no, maybe not, when I was originally kind of considering something like this. But now I'm thinking, no, definitely yes, because we really want to put these kind of two methods together right in here is what we want to do, like that. And then we're going to say, value is equal to as HTML, like that. We'll just rename this to HTML. Like that. Oh no! No, I already had oh, man. Copperbeardy throwing his dang sunflowers. Now you got sunflowers all over the place. Fred, are you okay over there, buddy? Fred, look. Fred, can you see me? Wave to me if you can see me. All right. How you doing, Copperbeardy? Welcome. Glad you're with us. Okay, so cool. Now we've got set value and we've got get value. So a dedicated set value is there.
Yep.
Let's go look at change bool versus edit bool. We'll look at these for a second here. Just kind of review this because I think I want to make the same kind of thing here. Result.setValue. Set value. And I want to pass in RB true.checked. Like that. Okay?
Yep.
Let's declare it. That. And we're going to say, let's call this new value. If new value, then value is equal to true. Otherwise, value is equal to false. Better? We liking that better? I like it better.
Yeah.
It makes me happy now. Let's go into float. View code. Here. Wait, that's not right. Where's my get properties changer? Not implemented yet. So here we want to say new change float. This is good that we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like that. And what I want to do is say results.setValue. And I think I want to just pass it in our... I think I want to do this right here. I'm trying to decide between, do I want to make this something that returns a default value if this fails? Like 1 or 0, maybe 0?
Right.
Here's the thing. I think that this guy is called only when this one successfully goes. So I think it's almost fair to be like, to just make the call there, because we know the call is going to succeed. I think it's likely to succeed. The other thing I could do is I could do it. Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to take a kind of a shortcut here. It's not my proudest moment. We're going to do this, set value to value. Otherwise, I'm going to go with nothing on it. That's what I think I'm going to do. Okay, so let's go declare that method. And then we're going to say value is equal to value dot to string. And I think that's correct, right? Change float, change color was setting its value piece as well. Is that true? Set value. There it is right there. Since I've been putting these after get value, I'll do it on this as well. So we have some consistency there. Hopefully improve readability. Okay. There's my edit bool. It's called set value on it. Edit float. Whoops. Edit float right there is what I wanted to look at. Creates a new change float, then sets its value there. Cool. Edit int. It's going to be similar to this. I'm going to kind of copy that. Let's go over to edit int. Get property changer. And looks like we want to change this to an int. Change this to an int. Dot. Change this to an int. Dot. New change int. Guess he doesn't have a change int. He needs to add one.
Oh.
That's me.
Cool. We don't typically need dates for this kind of work. That's usually one other thing.
And then new value, and we're going to say, so in set value here with the int coming in, we're going to just say value is equal to int.toStir. I mean, that's what I mean, like that. Okay. All right, so there's my new change int. It wasn't too hard. Move type to file. Should see it right over here. There it is. Okay, so there's my change int. Now can I tab to next reference and find where we were? Good. Set the value. Good. Fine. Okay. Next, after edit int, we got edit min max gradient. what am I going to do on that guy? I fixed vector 3. Vector 3, let's go look at vector 3 though, actually. So min-max gradient, I don't have any text version of that yet. Hector's out there. Hey guys, hey Mark. You got me using CodeRush. Really
Excellent.
nice. Yeah, did you see the feature of the week playlist? That thing is
good.
packed. Let's go out there and get a link to that. CodeRush feature of the week playlist. This thing is packed with dense, great content coming at you fast. And you just have to, I recommend if you haven't gone through these, look at them like one a day or, one every couple of days, something like that. Learn a new feature. Generally, the feature pays for itself. So if you spend 11 minutes watching promote to parameter, you will use promote to parameter enough times during, the week or the year or whatever to, you'll use that feature and it will save you 11 minutes, after a short amount of use. Archelaus says it should be a generic method. I didn't see that. I didn't recognize that. What are we talking about on this? Let's go look at this. Hold on, let's go look at this. Get property changer. You're talking about get property changer should be a generic method.
So we can say that this class either accepts the generic value in from its calling property, so you can actually pass integer in, because a lot of these will have very, very similar code. So it would be effectively t.parse, I guess, would be one variant going in the other direction.
Well, let's see. What we want to do is we want to say, so this would be this dot set value, because we're calling set value on a lot of these, but this code isn't. This code's different each time. Set value, maybe you're suggesting, no, I'm saying your code should be a generic method instead of writing change bool, change int.
So change of t. As Mark's saying, though, it depends very much on exactly how similar the code is. So for float and int, yeah, they're going to be pretty similar. But bool is implemented very differently because we've got to absorb the words true and false. And we're about to go into a range-based thing. If that's the min-max gradient, that's going to have a couple values.
There's a lot of radically different code in these. So
we could have a base class that had all the common stuff that could be then, and then we could inherit from those into these. There'd be less code in it. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not quite seeing that yet. Class, I mean. Okay, so maybe. Yeah, but you do the changes inside the change of t method. I'll write something up to show you. Okay. Go do it. Bill's never wrong. We know that to be a fact. All right, so I'm going to do this. Create a set value. Create a set value method here, just so we're consistent with everything else, even though all I'm doing is doing a straight on assignment. Okay, what is happening? I'm hitting escape here, kids, and it's like it's jumping to places when I hit control dot instead of, all right, I'm hitting control dot. I hit control comma instead of control dot. What is going on? Oh, hold on. Here. Is this Visual Studio? Yep, look at that. See the mouse, where the mouse is? This is Visual Studio's UI. If I bump the desk, it thinks I've moved the mouse.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened when I hit enter. There, I didn't even bump the desk. Interesting, so I gotta get the mouse off of there. Okay. All right, anyway, there we're gonna go declare the method. And now we're just going to simply say value is equal to text.
But I've seen some UI recently where I had the mouse positioned mid-screen and I was scrolling down through a document. I think it was a website. And what happened was, as the mouse wasn't moving, but it had the effect of passing over text because the underlying screen was scrolling. And it effectively hovered over something, caused a tooltip to appear, and now the scrolling was affecting the interior of the tooltip instead. So effectively causing all kinds of chaos.
Yeah,
and it's a tricky one to do with that.
That problem happens in UI for OBS. OBS, if you bring up a UI and the UI itself is scrollable, and I'm using the mouse to scroll down, and I scroll over all of a sudden like a combo box, and then I pull the mouse wheel down, I will now change values just through scrolling.
When that happens. That should not happen, for my sort of 2 cents, I guess. Because you can do that and not even know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So my min-max gradient I still haven't done. So in here, I've probably got a get property changer, and it's returning null. So I still have to do something here, which means I need to create a min-max gradient and store it. So right now we're not gonna be able to store or modify any gradient properties, in part because I haven't quite figured out what's my text-based format to do that in. So I don't know what that is. But anyway, at any rate, now I think we're at a good place where we can now build and test. So let's kill this. And let's rebuild. Got some dogs. After you check in today's code, I'll fix it for you. Okay, Ocular Malice. Yeah, I'm still having trouble seeing it, and usually I feel like I can wrap my head around these things and see them. So I'm like, because there's so much difference here on this in terms of what's happening inside of these descendant classes, right? And because the type, I don't really need this to be anything other than an object because it's just getting a value, right? I don't need that to be of a particular T. So I'm just not quite seeing yet where the T is going to come in here and benefit us. But my mind is open. That's the point. There isn't any difference. Well, okay. All right. Well, if you just want to get me a T there, you can. But the problem is the code doesn't care or know about really the T on the get value ever. It doesn't ever care about it because it's just passing that get value into, well, I guess what, here maybe? Change float. We would simplify that call. Maybe.
So the general thumb with generics is that you can apply this. It's effectively a parameter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which suggests that okay, that this code shall run the same way for all different types, with the exception that we shall pass in the type, and thus, you know, it's a slight difference. So the algorithm is largely the same, but the specific type you're playing with alters. Here, we're actually doing slightly different things for many of the types, and I'm not sure it quite applies.
Yeah, there's like a little bit, like you could say, well, my float and my int, if I just was replacing that with a T, you know, then I all three of these would change, right? But some of my set value calls are just taking strings in or multiple parameters, right? So it's like I just can't quite.
Chain bool is a good example.
Okay.
Right, because it uses the words true and false in very general terms.
Ocular Malice says all will be revealed. All right, buddy. I'm impressed.
Happy to look at it. Absolutely.
I'm the first guy to say I'm sure there's stuff I don't know, and there's stuff I can learn.
Yeah, me too, right?
Roy's the second guy.
Perfection, no way.
All right, so let's start up
Every day's a
TaleSpire.
school day.
What'd you say?
Every day is a school day.
Every day is school day. All right, so we're starting up. So now what we're hoping is that we actually get the property name correct. We added abilities to store and properly create changers for floats as well, and ints, and I think the bool. So we've got colors, bool, float. The color should also support multiplication. And if it works, it'll be great, because that means all our guesses with regards to offsets on when we're parsing the string, that code we wrote, because there was a lot of guessing going on in that code.
Sure.
You know. So anyway, here we are. This is this guy. Right here. Anyway, I'm noticing slower performance today. Slower load times right here.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what's going on with that. I don't think I've made any changes since yesterday. Nothing that I know of that would explain it. All right, TaleSpire is up. Now we're going to load up all the assets that we've got in here. All these different effect packs that I've gotten and popped in here, so we can create all these cool effects. Here, another pause. Really weird. Something is different, and I don't know why, or what it is. I think it's related to the system. It's kind of like just as we get to this point, we're saying here, loading asset bundle, right? Just as we get to this point where we say we're going to load it. Remember yesterday, there was just flying by. We even commented on how fast it was. And theoretically, no difference between yesterday and today. I just restarted my machine, give it a clean start. All right. Yeah, it feels like it's system related.
When was the last time your system rebooted?
It was this morning. I reboot before every show. I do a fresh start before every show so that I'm on a consistent, even footing. Okay, so now what do we want to do? Let's go edit the prefab.
Yep.
Let's add a prefab. Should we mess with something bigger than what we normally do? Let's go get that. What were we doing yesterday?
R18 was the one we were being consistently
18.
using. So
Let's
with
use that. Now that move in itself should have created it. There it is right there. So there's effect 18. Right? Let's go get the decal and just switch the decal color right now. So we get the decal, get its mesh renderer, get its material. Now this is kind of an interesting, tricky thing because we're grabbing, these are now, because they're in red, they're showing us that these are the shader properties, right? Which are by name, they seem to function like attached properties. So it's kind of like a dictionary as I imagine them in their implementation. So I'm going to grab tint color here. Oh, here's what I was saying. That's orange, but this is yellow, right? But anyway, I'm going to change that color to like, I don't know, that kind of purple maybe, something like that. My multiplier looks like it's greater than 1. So it's already got so here's 0, and there's like a really, make it a bright glow like that. So we'll do that. Let's create the JSON for it. And let's just look at what we got for the property. If we got any props in here. We're looking for, oh, this is really slow scroll. Here we go. Name, mesh renderer dot material dot tint color. So we haven't even tested this yet to see if this works, right? To see if we can follow it all the way down. We just wrote code to make it work. We'll see if it works. Let's clear the effect. I copy it. Let's click copy JSON. Close that down. Back over here. Paste it here. Now we have to go look at it because it's. Oh wait, you know what we could do? Oh, we'd have to add the property, and we don't have the. We don't have the property to modify its transform. So we'll just, fastest way is going to be to go look at it. Oh no, wait, you know what? The fastest way is going to be to bring Janus here.
Oh, that's good.
It puts it where Janus is, I think. So put Janus right there. Then we're going to click on deserialize, and we'll see if that builds it there.
Nice.
No, did not. It built it, but it did not change the property value. Let's see if we got any error messages in here. Tint color. It looks like it's. Why is it setting it like so many times? It seems like really wrong. Oh, I know why. This is because every time I was dragging it, this is while I was dragging the color and changing it.
Right.
But we're not getting, so we get rebuild properties after load is the last message we get, but we're not getting anything else. Let's go look at that code. That's going to be in composite effect. And it's in modify properties. And so we figure this out. We call create. We clone it. So I think we're going to need to, I think we are going to need some debug messages here. Creating or finding So this should maybe be renamed because already we've got kind of an issue here. Instance ID. Not instance ID. I want actually... No. It's going to be just name. I think is what it is. That's the right property. So we're creating or finding... No? Oh, I know. Existing child name is one of the options. And so we're going to do this. If not null, then we're going to say finding it.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to say creating. So we have some good data coming back to ourselves. We're going to say creating, and this is going to be prefab name. That's what this is going to be. Like that. No? Prefab, just prefab, I bet. Prefab to create, fine. Okay. Okay, so that's piece of information number 1. I want to break this. I want to split this into 2 right here. Split the conditional like that. And then I want to come in here and do an else. Whoops. Not a new L. And I want to say else. And then I want to say TLD that says something along the lines is that parent instance was null. Like that. So I want to get that error out into the debug log. Okay. And then I want to say, hey, we're going to now call modify properties now. I'm just going to follow this through. And in modify properties, I think I want to jump in here. And we want to say what properties we're modifying. Modifying this property DTO dot name with base property DTO dot value. Like that. Maybe we'll use that new feature I wrote yesterday, which is going to be giving me the both of those in a single keystroke right there. Shortcut. Okay. All right, that's going to give us some better data. Let's close down TaleSpire, rebuild, and see what kind of data we see now. You know what would have been really awesome if I had kept that on the clipboard. That thing that I just... deleted. Okay, rebuild all succeeded. The piece I just copied so we can test that color change. We'll do it again.
Did you clipboard at any stage?
What did you say?
Did you have it on the clipboard at any stage?
I did, but Coderush doesn't track external clipboard events for
Windows now has a clipboard history, but you have to turn it on.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Windows
makes sense because, you know, you don't want like passwords and stuff like that to be easily accessible if somebody has access to your machine. Wait, I thought that was noise. It was coming from Civ 6 game I'm playing. Oh, that's so funny. What's that roaring noise? Wait, you got the roaring noise. Is the roaring noise... It looked like it was the docking of the spaceship, I think is what it was. Yeah. Okay, did we start it up? It looks like we're starting it.
Well, it's running slowly. I did notice, even when TaleSpire was up and running, there seemed to be a little lag in some of those effects.
Huh, I didn't notice that, but I'm like noticing it everywhere. I'm like, what's up with my machine in this moment?
Someone's stealing your CPU.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet if we bring this up, everything's gonna be fine. Yeah, everything's low. Oh, it's a network. OBS. It's doing some seriously heavy network stuff. Well, maybe I need to research this.
So,
What'd you say?
is Dropbox on?
No, I turned it off. It was earlier, but I turned it off. It says it's paused. And besides, it's saying OBS Studio's cranking it, you know, taking most of it. So, I wonder if that's related to the issue. But look at that, 100%. I don't know. All right, looks like we're up. Here we are right here. Let's go use our trusty, we'll do edit prefab, grab R1.effect18, which I'm starting to get a little sick of, to be honest. I'm like, oh my God, this thing. There it is right there. And we're going to go to the decal, get the mesh renderer, get its material, change its tint color. There we go. So we got that. Let's bump it up and say create JSON and copy JSON. I'm going to go throw this into simultaneously over into a notepad. Then we're going to clear the effect, close this down, and go back to the Form Explorer, paste, and then say deserialize, and we'll look at the error messages that we get out. So there it builds the other one in the it builds in the right place. And here's what we've got: a bunch of low contrast messages, just what I need. All right, let's just grab that, copy that. Let's get another instance of Notepad up so we can bump up that contrast and actually read it. All right. So let's get to the end of this. Hold on. Okay. So let's see. Modifying properties. Modifying properties. I'm looking. Where's the decal? Right here. Finding distortion, shield add. Finding decal 2. So finding decal 2. Then we see modify properties and we go right out to finding light. So somehow we had no properties in it is what it looks like. Let's go back into let's go look in and see what's going on here. Are we getting out because of this? Because we're getting called in. It looks like properties is null. Okay. Do we need to, is there a piece that we're missing? Calling piece and initialization piece that we're missing? Or alternatively, it's empty. It's null or it's empty. It's kind of what the situation is. Rebuild properties after load. Rebuild properties after load is something that, let's see. We should see this called at least once. Okay, so let's see. There's one right there. So here we go. Rebuild properties after load. That's for that main piece. But it needs to be called for all the children as well. And here, actually, it is called for all the children.
Yep.
Which means we should see this multiple times, the message show up multiple times, but it's not. That I don't understand. Well, hold on. It's called in deserialize. So deserializing, then we call rebuild properties after load. All of the children should be there, which means we're going to go. If props is equal to null, return. Ooh, this is the problem piece, because there may be no properties in that first piece.
Oh, so the parent has no properties, so we don't even consider the children. Well, hang on.
That may be what's going on. Let's just see if it's null, though. It's null. So it doesn't go through any of the children to initialize them. That's our problem, I think, right there. So what we really need to do is say, hey, if props is not null, then we're going to go in here and do all of this.
Yes.
Okay, go through all the props, then add them, do all of that code, and then we're going to just go rebuild properties after load. I think that's going to be a big fix for us.
Yeah.
Okay, let's close it down. Rebuild. Rebuild succeeded. Start of TaleSpire. Wow, it's really, really slow to respond. Even just moving this, clicking and dragging, it's not responding. Okay. Yeah. So this is kind of exciting if this actually, works. Right? Right, we get this thing working. It's actually, we're creating kind of a very interesting tool. Right, I like to. The other thing I want to do too, by the way, Rory, is, and I think it won't be hard to do, is I want if we're modifying a property, I want it to store its original value.
Okay.
So that if I can revert it, or alternatively, I can check to see if the new value is equal to its original value, in which case I don't need to store that property anymore.
True.
Right? So kind of both of those are benefits that I see would be useful, because I'm really trying, I want to drop the size of this, because ultimately the size of this is going to show up in a spreadsheet. It's going to show up in a spreadsheet. I think it's a spell effect. And so the less code I can get in here, the better. The less declarative. Yeah, loading asset bundle right there. Loading asset bundle. Oh, we're down to 70% though. It's not bad.
90. I reckon maybe they flip the switch on the diagnostics. Everybody send us some diagnostics.
I bought these 10 gigabit cards in my and put them in my desktop machines, so they could communicate to each other faster. And when I was working with those, I regularly noticed crashes on both systems. Maybe on one for sure, maybe not both. But one system would definitely crash on a regular basis. I couldn't use the 10 gigabit card in the machine, and it's one of these crashes that's so cryptic in terms of messaging and what's going on. It's just like click and the machine's off, right, or something along those lines. Okay, so what are we doing here? Oh, come on, man! You're making me cry. Are we up though? I think we're up. Okay, so let's get this guy, or no, we really just need to copy this and deserialize again.
Yeah.
That's all we need to do. Oops, hold on, let's get it again.
Move. Did Janus's position save as, yeah, it did.
It did save. All right, so let's try it. Deserialize. It worked.
That's better.
That's all we needed. What'd you say?
Like that.
Yeah, I like it too. That's awesome. All right. Let's do something else. Just to see what our, see what the space is like here. Let's play and bask in our glory. Let's grab something else. There is a, I don't know, I almost want to grab something by random here. Wait, 19, I actually know what that is. I'm not sure what 20 is. Let's see what 20 is. Okay, it's ice. Not so much we can do with color there, but we can, like, for example, change the shape of the globe. So it's more of a dome-like kind of thing. So let's kind of look at that. Shield, that's the one I want to change right there, the shield. So go into the shield, go into its transform, grab its scale, and looks like its Z is really high, so let's bring its Z down a little bit. Whoops. Like that. Well, maybe just make the other two bigger. 3.7 to 3.7, something like that. Okay, so there's our change that we're going to make. You could probably find the tint on that shield as well and modify that. Is it going to be down in here? Tint color? Are you blue? No, you're not. You're white. You're white. Oh, here we go. Fresnel color. Let's see if that's it. There we go. So cool. So we could make it maybe purple. Let's see what our multiplier does. Anything cool? Whoa. Okay. All right. So that's our new effect. All right. So we're going to create the JSON, copy the JSON, clear this effect out, go back, switch over into this guy, select everything and paste, and then deserialize. And is it going to work? Uh-oh. Did we
not get one of the dimensions?
We did not get one of the dimensions. That's like, feels like, you know what, an X and a Y were conflated is what it looks like to me. I have a feeling that the code that let's do this, let's paste it in. Local scale, that looks close to right. That's what we changed. And then that's the other piece right there. So the local scale, let's go see what's going on with our vector 3. Is it really? Could we be conflating that? That doesn't seem right. Change vector 3. Nope, that all looks right to me.
Just show me the numbers again.
3.7, 3.1.
You see, that should be an X, Y, Z, right?
Yeah.
Well, X and Y, because we think Z is the height, right? X and Y should be similar values if you had a square from the top down. And I don't think they are. One is less than half the other.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm going to say that based on that data, it produced the correct result.
Yes,
but
yes. So
maybe save the correct data.
Yeah, so I'm looking in the wrong place. I should be looking at my editor vector 3. Look at this code over here. Maybe I'm conflating the values here. X, Y, and Z, going to the 0, the first, second, and third. That looks right. X, Y, and Z. Here, when I pop them out, I'm putting them out at X, Y, and Z. I'm calling get X, Y, Z. Let's see, is this maybe the problem? X, Y, and Z? Nope, X, Y, and Z, still the same order. And here we create the value changed.
Okay, any chance that a misclick caused one of them to not actually change? So we dragged it, we saw it big, we accidentally dragged, passed the mouse back the other way so that when the mouse was released, it hadn't actually changed.
I don't think so. Let's close the effect editor down. Let's go in one more time and let's look just at this problem. So there we are there. Yeah, I think that's what happened. My X, Y got conflated. Now I've actually seen kind of strange behavior where I was moving the Y would change the height, but then sometimes the Z would change the height. And I thought, well, maybe it's rotated or something like that. Maybe something is going on, but it's a little interesting. Frackberg says, how do you feel about a bath, Mr. Rush?
I don't know. How do you feel about survivors with the question?
With what? Some ice chips?
There we go.
Let's get some of that. This is the best this show could afford for ice chips, by the way. Basically silver confetti. Sorry. Our budget wasn't high enough for real ice chips. Okay. So let's go back into edit prefab. Let's bring that up. Let's go grab it. Add prefab. We're now on 19 or 20? We're on 20.
120, yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's something else. It's about rotation. I have a feeling this is going to be a problem that's, I don't know. Well, let's see. Going into transform. In other words, let's say I set my position and then we rotate. Do you know what I'm saying? Sorry, not position, scale. Right there. All right.
Right, so we've got 0.4. So it is largely symmetrical scale on those two axes.
Yeah, no, you're right. The data is wrong, I think. It should be these two. What'd you say?
That data looks good. I feel like somehow we increased the X and we tried to increase the Y, but it didn't actually increase. By the time we hit copy JSON, we had low Y value compared to what we expected.
So this is what we're looking for, is two big values and then a small value, for the third one. So we're looking
Those
for
values
this.
are good in the editor.
Let's go back and double check that. I want to just make sure that that's the case, that we were seeing that as we expected them to be. Scale. Yeah, no, they're not. See? They're different. The Y is smaller there, and what we want is the Z smaller. If we do this and deserialize it, let's see what's it look like. There we go. So maybe something did change. Let's go take this. Let's repeat the process, the steps we did before. Now we've got the right shape.
Create JSON from your existing data.
Yeah. So I'm going to hit create JSON. I'm going to hit copy JSON. I'm going to now come back over here, paste that in, and deserialize it. And what do we get? Now works. So something. Wait.
The height's not, though, is it?
No. It's changed the height on me.
Okay, so the two applications, without altering anything, what have we got for our X, Y, and Z in the place that created the JSON and...
No, wait, hold on.
And...
This is really weird. It's got a 3 here.
What does the other app say?
This is going to give it a circle. 3, and... So it's essentially a sphere, I mean. The other one says...
There's 1 in the left.
How dare you? What?
And...
Look.
So that's our bug. Whatever's causing it to alter between the left and the right.
What? How is that possible? Is it that the value hasn't been set yet? Do I move away? That doesn't make sense. As soon as it changes, there it sees it as a 1.1. What?
So,
how dare you?
It's very flawed somehow.
How dare you? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Random maps out of nowhere. Just use that.
Let's go look at that and figure that out. So why is the value on is it truncating it? It's not quite clear what's happening with your...
One is becoming 3 somehow there. That's very weird.
Yeah. I think that's going to be in get property changer is what I think it's going to be. Get property changer, set the vector3.text, which is this guy. Is going over to it. Okay. Set value. Value is equal to just flat out the text.
Okay.
Well,
which we're then
get value.
Yep, we're then getting the index of any kind of arrow, which we don't have.
No. Hold on. I've switched over into this other one. Get value basically just does a split on it. And then it calls get float. Let's go look at get float. Do I have a problem in get float? Trims a string. Tries to parse it. And if it does, it sends it out. This all looks like really good. The problem is, where is the problem? This is the weirdest thing in the world. X, Y, and Z. So, yeah, because it's this value that shows up. Where is it? This value here This is inside of props, which are those property change DTOs. Changer DTOs. It's just going to have name, value, and type in it, right? That's all it's going to have. And so you see there's the type vector 3, there's the value.
3.3 remains correct.
Let's change this. Let's change this.
Zero. Correct.
I'm going to change this to a 12. And then I'm going to say create JSON. Well, now I get it.
Okay.
3.1. Something like that. Change it. 3.1. Okay,
1.1 was the value.
What if I change it using this? 4.5. It doesn't. It's got the old. So when I change this, it's not calling. I think it's not calling an update. I think that's really what our problem is. So I think
not hooking up the handler for the Z.
Yeah, it's not saying vector change is what I think. Let's go look at this. Double click that. If changing internally, then we're out. Otherwise, we call update value. And update value does call vector change. With get XYZ. Hold on. It's not, apply and reset offsets happens on a mouse up. Now we apply them, but we don't call value changed. I think this is my problem.
But are you suggesting that the problem exists for both the X, the Y, and the Z tracker? Because it felt like the other two worked.
No, I think it's the last one that I modified doesn't get saved. That's what my take on this is. So here as a test, we're going to modify the X. We'll drop it down, and now it's 0.3, but it hasn't been changed here. Oh wow, and the 4.5 isn't there either still.
Create JSON.
What'd you say? Oh yeah, right. Sorry, I was expecting that to have a create change. So now 4.5. Yeah, it's the last one, isn't? What'd you say, Rory?
I was agreeing because the 4.5 did catch up.
Yeah, I think
for iteration.
I think this is my fix. That call to value change right there is the fix. I could also just call update value as well, maybe from here. Let's see, what's going on in value changed? Yeah, no, I'm going to call it directly here. I like this better. Because otherwise I've got, well, I'm just debating between, I can also do this. Update value there. That should fix it as well. Putting it outside. I think I'm going to do that. All right, I think that's like a little easier to read. All right, let's take TaleSpire. Okay, good to know. That was a great bug. And should I also just constantly update the JSON? I think I kind of want to do that. I think I want to update the JSON constantly. That's going to be in my effects editor. And I think I've got a listener in here to value changed. Let's see if we can find an event lookup for it. There it is. So here when the value changes, we actually try to change the value. If we can't figure out what it is, we just get out. We get the property changer for it. Good, good, good. And now what I want to do is right around this point is I want to create the JSON. create JSON kind of thing. It's going to be something like this. Extract that.
As you're looking for that and we proceed a little further on, I'm afraid I'm going to have to call time on my time and disappear on you.
All right, buddy. Disappear away.
Great rest of the show. This is obviously going to get even better from here. And I will catch you on Tuesday.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Say goodbye, Fred. Fred says goodbye. All right. Take care, everybody. Okay, so let's close down TaleSpire. Let's rebuild. Thought I hit a rebuild. Oh, there it is. I see the progress bar. Rebuild all succeeded. Start it up. Frackbird, I didn't see that comment. Can afford the Viper from BSG. Cheaps out on the ice chips. I see how it is. Starting up. Yeah, I think it's network related pieces that are slowing me down today. Well, maybe not. Now we're down to reasonable space. Second edge was in there. What else? Xbox Game Bar, what the heck is that? I don't even have any Xbox stuff going on here. What is that? Okay, starting up, loading stuff. This guy not responding too. That's our I almost want to close that guy down. I have seen that guy get stuck on some network relating calls for either, and it's doing a fair amount of those right now. It's talking to a number of kind of services out there, and so I was thinking about closing that down, maybe restarting it. All right, I just did it. I just hit the close button on it. But it seemed responsive as it was closing down. All right, let's start it back up again. Meanwhile, all right, so let's edit prefab, add prefab. Let's get effect 20 in there. There's effect 20 right over there. We're going to change the size of that thing. So we'll come in here and we're going to get the transform local scale. And hopefully we, oh, that's lossy scale, local scale. That's what I want right there. And I want it just for the shield. I just want it for the shield, actually. We'll go into the shield and we'll increase the, not increase the Y. Increase the X. What? The whole thing is changing? That's definitely not what I want. Change it back to 1 to 1 to 1. Did I maybe not get the right one? I think now that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, looks like I was modifying the wrong one. Okay, there we go. All right, so there we got that to about 4.4. And nope, not Z. 4.4. I want Y. There we go. That's kind of the shape I'm looking for. Is my X needing? No, there we go. So there we go. So we got a nice round shield. We want to put that around Janus right there. Move them a little bit over there. So now what we should see is automatically we should see the JSON created. Uh-oh. Looks like this button is not connected to the top. We'll have to fix that one too. Let's do that now. Okay. Okay, and we should see these both match. They look like they totally match. And just as another test, what is it? The Z needs to be increased just a little bit. There you go. So now as soon as I let go of it, we see it updated over here. So that's very cool. Good. How's it look? Nope, I want it a little bigger than that. There we go. All right, cool. So I'm going to copy the JSON and we're going to clear the effect, get rid of it. And then we're going to come over into here. We're going to paste that in and we're going to click on deserialize and hopefully we'll see that exact same shape appear around him. Good. There's another one inside that's just another subtle kind of effect in the same shape as the other. So we kind of need to modify that too, but it's not too bad, right? It's really not too bad. And we should be able to now go in and change the tint as well of that. That's going to be here in the particle system renderer. Whoops. Oh, this happens because I deleted and killed. I deleted it. And am I out? Am I going to crash TaleSpire? And no, it just moves it over here. Okay, so when I clear effect, these are all gone, so I can't modify them anymore. I essentially have to close this down and bring it back up again to make that work, is what I need to do. To make this a little faster, I'm going to go up here, grab the scale that I like for that piece. I haven't quite figured out what to do with the destruction of the elements. Let's go in here. Like maybe instead of destroying them for clear effect. Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure what we have to do and what's actually going on with test effect either. So just go to shield, transform, local scale, paste that in. That's the piece I wanted. Then go into the particle system renderer, go into material, Fresnel color. Yeah, maybe kind of something crazy like that. Fine, copy the JSON, clear the effect, go ahead and close it down, I guess, and then come back over here, select everything, paste it in, and now when we deserialize that, let's move the Janus over. Right there, we should see the new piece. There it is. Okay. All right, so that's kind of our primary goal on that. I think I'm going to actually end the show. I think it's not a bad place. We've made some progress here with regards to serializing these pieces out. Still have some cleanup I want to do on that, but I think we're definitely we're moving in the right direction. Let's get a raid going for you guys. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate that. Send it over to Oh Bother. Learn some science and tech and electronics.